coming to another effect related to electric current, that is magnetic effect of electric current. Heat effect already you have seen in the last video. Today we are going to explain you magnetic effect of electric current. Magnetic effect of electric current is very interesting to see. When an electric current flows through a conductor, that means potential difference is supplied across a conductor by a battery and with the help of a key and all, right? Yeah. When electric current flows through this conductor, magnetic field is produced around it, right? Actually, magnetic field is produced around the conductor. Just like if this is a conductor, I hold it with my hand like this, right? Suppose this is a cylindrical conductor, you will imagine. If I hold this conductor like this with my fingers, curl of my fingers, and my thumb is along the direction of the current, and this is the way how the magnetic field lines are produced. Very important thing you have to remember is that when electric current flows through a conductor, the conductor does not become a magnet, but magnetic field is produced around it. A field is created. What kind of field? Magnetic field. Right? In the last electrostatics we have studied about electric field. Electric field is related to charged particles. Here this is a different thing. Electric current when flows through a conductor, magnetic field is produced around it. The conductor itself does not become a magnet. It is very interesting to see. Till when this key is not pressed, this magnetic needle shown here will not deflect at all. Once when this key is pressed down at a sudden, this magnet needle starts deflecting. A magnetic needle will deflect only when an external magnetic field is acting on it. From this experiment we can say that when electric current flows through a conductor, magnetic field is produced around it. And this phenomena was discovered by Oersted. So this is an Oersted experiment. So Oersted only for the first time said that when electric current flows through a conductor, magnetic field is produced around it. The direction of the reflection of the magnetic field, in how the magnetic needle deflects, that is explained by Ampere's swimming rule. If a swimmer, suppose there is a conductor that is along here from north to south, like this, from north to south, this wall is north and this wall is south, and electric conductor is there and electric current is flowing through that. And below the conductor, a magnet needle is placed. Okay. A swimmer is swimming along the direction of the electric current, looking towards the magnetic needle. Am I correct? So when the swimmer advances swimming in the direction of the electric current such that electric current is entering through his feet and is leaving at his head, then when you look at the magnetic needle, it deflects towards the left hand side of the swimmer. This is the direction of magnetic field, or direction how the deflection takes place in the magnetic needle. That is also a very important thing, right? This magnetic field, as I told you, the direction of the magnetic lines of force is obtained by right hand curl rule. Right hand curl rule means if you hold a current carrying conductor as shown here by me, this must be a cylindrical conductor like this. The finger turns, the thumb shows the direction of the current, and the curl of the finger says then will be the direction of the magnetic field lines, right? The same thing can be obtained, same thing can be understood by placing some iron filings on a white paper fixed on a cardboard, kept horizontal, and a conductor is passing to the center of that, and the two ends of the conductor is connected to a cell, right, battery, right. This iron filings are kept in a random way, it is spread on the surface of that, the white paper. All of a sudden when the key is pressed, current flows to the same the conductor, and it is slightly tilted, the horizontal drawing board carrying paper on it. The iron filings will keep around the conductor in beautiful concentric circles. and each circle corresponds to magnetic field lines. So from these experiments, because already we have studied in class 10th and all, that is why it is not described by a diagram. So this experiments can show that when electric current flows through a conductor, magnetic field is produced. Magnetic field produced means around the conductor, magnetic field lines are created. Right? Because in the electric field also we have seen that in an electric field lines are present. So in a magnetic field, magnetic field lines are present. Now we are going to explain what is called magnetic field. Magnetic field is a space around a current carrying conductor or a magnetic pole. Magnetic pole is not mentioned here. Around a magnetic pole or magnet, magnet is magnetic dipole, right? The space around a current carrying conductor or a magnetic pole where the magnetic effect of that can be detected or experienced is called a field. Am I correct? Okay. That means you keep a magnetic pole and away from that, if a light magnet needle is placed there, you can see a deflection. Magnet deflects in a certain direction, right? If it is taken away from that, after a certain distance away from the pole itself, there is an effect on the magnetic needle, right? Up to where the magnetic needle shows deflection is the field of the magnetic pole. If there is no deflection, then that point is not the field due to the magnetic dipole. Am I correct? Next is what is called flux density. Because as I told you, in a magnetic field lines are there. The number of field lines passing or penetrating through a unit area, 1 meter square, 1 centimeter square, etc., is called magnetic flux density. Magnetic flux density is also called as intensity of magnetic field. Intensity of magnetic field is represented by vector B. It is represented by vector B. So magnetic flux density, or sometimes also called as intensity of magnetic field or strength of the magnetic field at a point. That may be the total number of lines of force passing through unit area placed at that point. Inside a magnetic field, if you place a unit square area, how many number of lines of force, magnetic lines of force are passing through it? That is the measure of magnetic flux density. Magnetic flux density is measured using a unit called Tesla. Using a unit called Tesla, right? Tesla denoted by big letter T, or this can be represented by Weber per meter square. WB per meter square, Weber per meter square, right? Weber is actually flux, magnetic flux. Magnetic flux acting through unit area. Magnetic flux means the total number of lines of force passing through an area capital A, right? So total lines passing through a large area divided by area of that surface is what is called Weber per meter square. So remember, Weber is the unit of magnetic flux and Weber per meter square is what is called magnetic flux per unit area. Magnetic flux per unit area is called flux density. Magnetic flux density. It is also called as intensity of magnetic field. So later on we will say intensity of magnetic field or flux density. Another unit, Newton per ampere meter. Newton divided by ampere into meter. Right? Mathematical definition of magnetic field. So for this, what you do, we will move a charged particle in a magnetic field. You see, it is very interesting to see. We have already seen that when a charged particle is kept in an electric field, force acts on it. What the force acts on it? That time we have studied. Force acting on a charged particle is equal to charge strength into intensity. F is equal to Q into E. So in that case, one thing more we have to remember is that in an electric field, whether a charge is stationary or it is moving, in both the conditions, force acting is given by F is equal to Q into E. But in a magnetic field, if a charge is placed stationary, no force acts on it. And electric field, stationary charge also, in an electric field, force acts on it. right? Force is equal to Q into E. Due to this, the charge starts moving with an acceleration, right? Okay. But in a magnetic field, if a charged particle is placed there, it does not move at all. No acceleration takes place. But if the charged particle is moving in a magnetic field, then force acts on it. This force is called magnetic force. Force acting on a charged particle is called a magnetic force. Represented by Fm it is called. For example, you see, this is the direction of magnetic field on the y-axis, and this is x-axis, and this is the z-axis. So in the xy plane, if a charged particle is moving with the velocity v, charged particle of charge value plus q is moving with a velocity v, and in a magnetic field, so this is the magnetic field, see, right? In which place magnetic field is along the y-axis, and the charged particle is moving, making an angle theta with the field direction. Then a force acts on the charged particle is given by F is equal to Fm proportional to QVB sine theta. Q is the charge strength, V is the velocity of the charged particle, and B is the flux density, intensity of magnetic field, and the sign of the angle between the direction of velocity of the charged particle and the magnetic field, right? Or F is equal to a constant K into QVB sine theta, right? Constant K here, constant K is a constant of proportionality. B is so defined that K is always equal to 1 in the SI system. Therefore, Fm is equal to QVB sine theta, we can say. Am I correct? So, this is a very important relation, QVB sine theta, right? Fm. So, next magnetic force, the equation we have already seen. Magnetic force acts only when the charged particle is moving in a certain direction, theta with the field, theta with the field. If B is equal to 0, Fm is equal to 0. Why that? Because Fm is equal to QVB sine theta. If B is equal to 0, Fm is equal to 0. So this is very interesting. If theta is equal to 0, then also Fm is equal to 0. Am I correct? So here one more thing you have to memorize that a charged particle, if it is moving, force is equal to 0. Force equal to 0 means acceleration is equal to 0. Right? A charged particle can move in the direction of the electric magnetic field. If it is moving with uniform velocity, then also we can say that Fm is equal to 0. Right? Moving, but it is a uniform velocity. So if a charged particle moves in the direction of the magnetic field, it can move, but its velocity always remains a constant. Because rate of change of velocity is equal to 0. That is why Fm is equal to 0. So if a charged particle moves in the direction of the magnetic field, it will move with a uniform velocity. Then the change in velocity is equal to 0, acceleration is equal to 0. Therefore, we can say that Fm is equal to 0. Now, if a charged particle is moving in a magnetic field such that the direction of the velocity makes an angle 90, theta is equal to 90, then Fm is maximum. Why Fm is maximum? Because Fm is equal to QVB sine theta. The value of magnetic force acting on the charged particle is directly proportional. It is depending on sine of the angle between the velocity vector and the field vector. If it is equal to 90 degree, sine theta is maximum. When sine theta is maximum, the force is maximum. Fm is equal to B. This is the maximum force. We can define also magnetic field. Suppose in this case Q is equal to 1, B is equal to 1, and theta is equal to 90 degree. Then we can say that Fm is equal to B also we can write. Am I correct? So magnetic field is defined as equal to the magnetic force acting on a unit charge moving with unit velocity perpendicular to the field. So in a field, if a unit charge is moving perpendicular to the field, then force acting on the charged particle is same as equal to Fm is equal to the intensity of magnetic field. In this way we can define the intensity of magnetic field also. So the direction of magnetic field can be the direction of magnetic force acting on a charged particle can be obtained by right. So thus the direction of magnetic force acting on a charged particle can be obtained by right hand rule. Right hand rule means always this right hand rule is very important. Orient your right hand such a way that the direction of the outstretched fingers are showing the direction of motion of the charged particle in a magnetic field, right? Okay. And the orientation is such that if you turn the fingers just right angles, then the fingers direction will show the direction of the magnetic field. Then the outstretched thumb will show the direction of the magnetic force acting on the charged particle. That is shown here. In a figure, it is shown here, right? This figure. Suppose this is a north pole of a magnet and this is south pole of a magnet. Field lines are always from north to south. A charged particle, always charged particles when we speak, remember at the first hand you have to take a positive charge, right? A charged particle is moving in a magnetic field. Understand? That is, sir is talking about only positive charge, right? For the other charge, the motion will be just opposite. Am I correct? It is shown here by a simple diagram. Magnetic field is produced here because this is north pole and this is south pole. Lines of force emerge from north pole and is entering into the south pole. This is magnetic field lines due to a magnet, right? So within the field, if you are placing, if you are made to move a positive charged particle, then as it enters into the magnetic field, it will take a parabolic path as shown in the figure. If this is for positive charged particle, then this will be for negatively charged particle. And this is a very important diagram. And the same thing actually explained by the right hand rule. Right hand rule also I have said. Keep straight the fingers of the right hand. Yeah, the direction of the fingers show the direction of the motion of the charged particle. The orientation of the fingers of the right hand is such that when you turn the fingers at right angles, it will show the direction of the magnetic field. Then thumb will show the direction of the charged particle. I will explain you this with a very real experiment.